Hello everyone, my name is Kernitsman, and this is the Krabby Patty hunting assignment. It is made by my partner Joshua Levine and myself for our instructor, Miss Martin. So there are already a few instructions here with using it on Windows, but I'm still making this video to show off all of the features of the program and kind of like walk through the uh, running procedure. I'm not going to go over the first step. This actually is not correct. It needs a Python 3.7. I'll change it in a second. It would not work with any other versions of Python. Minimum 3.7 or 8 for current day. Um, so if you could go to the folder of the installation, I have it right over here, and copy the path, then go to your preferable command line interface and just write cd that path. So you can see I'm already here. Then the simplest way to run is going to be Python and then game.py in that folder. So right over here, perfect. So as you saw before, I had two windows popping up. Sorry, I had big black window popping up. That was this window right over here in a full screen mode. That was to measure the screen size, so it then rescaled down to any monitor size. So no matter if you have a big monitor or a small one, it's always going to natively rescale. So on the right side, we have two subplots over here. For now, they're empty because we didn't play any rounds. But yes, you'll see in a second how it all fills up. So I can only go right and up. Plankton is right over here. Okay, perfect. So now the casino made $10 because we had three successful moves, 0 lives, that's nothing. I'm just going to play a few more rounds just for fun, and the command line is going to show the current balance and the current score. We'll look at it in a second. This is actually just for the casino day, if it will, so close, if it will ever be. Yeah, so close. If I went to that right, it would have been up all the way. Okay, so as you can see on this graph here, now I'm just going to play. Yeah, we got it. Perfect. So, as you can see from this graph, this line is the revenue. So the business is making $10 every single time. And this is going to be the current balance or the accumulated profit and loss. And then this histogram below shows all of the profit and losses per run. This legend right over here is going to move accordingly to the best spot available. If you look at the current profit and loss, hovering your mouse over, we are currently at exactly $50. Just you can't really see it well, and yeah, we are at $50 of profit. That's great profit after 11 rounds. And yeah, this is the first one. You could customize it as much as possible. So as seen on the README file, you have three parameters. That's the width of the grid, the height of the grid, and how many lives do you want. So for example, do 5 on a 3 with let's say 1 life, and it's just going to run it. Exactly. Again, it is rescaling, but this time we are not going to get the graph. It just doesn't work. You could close it down because the graph only works with 4 by 4 with 1 life or 5 by 5 with 2 lives. That is because we had to come up with custom tables for the rewards and the payoffs. So again, it only works with those specific two parameters. If you'll open the game.py, I'm going to use Sublime Text. Again, you could change the parameters over here. And if you know how to execute Python, you just execute it and it's going to pick up those values. It does not need a command line if you can execute it. And also here, if you don't want the graph, set it to false and there will be no graph. Okay, just a few things to mention is that there are sound effects and background music in the game, so if you could turn up your volume, you'll have fun. Yes, Plankton has 22 different sound effects, randomly shuffled, and sorry for this entire cumbersome experience. I tried to convert it into an executable, but I could not do so. I just received many errors. Sorry about that. Okay, next up we have the simulator file. So the simulator file we could also run up from the command line, but there are not many variables. So the simulator we shall run from the command line. So again, simulator, I don't need the game anymore. So again, the simulator only works with a 4x4 1 or 552. Let's say 552. The parameters over here, very playful ones. Um, this is going to ask, this is like for how many rounds are you going to see the graph. So just when it's going to be truly live, show live if you don't even want to see the graph live, it just at the end, and then how many iterations. So I'm going to do every every 1, fine, every 20, that's fine actually. And I am going to run it. So again, this is the simulator. It runs very fast. It randomly makes choices and great. So if you look then in the executable, again, you could run it with a command line interface. Yeah, actually, yeah, you could edit those values constants and then just run it on the command line interface with Python simulator.py. So you don't even need any any um, any running program or IDEs. You could just change it with even Windows text editor and then just run it like the program before. Anyways, and it is going to show many statistics, revenues, how many rounds, how long it took you to run the program. And then here you can see we have a very big percent deviation because we only ran 20 instances. But if you look at the report, we ran 50,000 of them, and we had, I think, a percent deviation of 0.08, standard deviation, and here it's going to show all of the probabilities. Good stuff. So that is pretty much it. In the assets, you could see those graphs in full resolution, very beautiful graphs. I love them a lot. And yeah, that is about it. Maybe one more thing we could do is here we could change it again to a 4 by 4 by 1, and you see how it is. For example, yeah, something that is not 4 by 4, and if you're just going to run it, it's not going to let you. It's going to be mad at you, upset. If I'm going to save it as a 4 by 4 by 1, then it will be fine and will run like before. Very colorful graphs, very beautiful ones. Please play around with it. It's very fun to watch. All of the color changings here. Actually, one more thing is that because Matplotlib is going to plot very big graphs in the show every one round live version. It's going to get very slow. So if you just close the window, and it's just going to run at a full speed until the end. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.